Hey everybody, my name is Andrew Michael. I am a real estate agent here in Northeast Florida, and in this video, we are going to talk about homeowners associations, the good and the bad, the pros and the cons, whether you should consider them or not. And we're going to talk about it right now. Hey everybody, welcome back. Again, my name is Andrew Michael. I have been a real estate agent here for right around 10 years in Northeast Florida. I'm a lifelong Florida resident. I'm also a Marine Corps combat veteran, and I served as a local law enforcement officer for 14 years. And every day, we help families just like yours with relocating to Northeast Florida. So whether you're looking, whether they can move immediately or a little bit down the road, we would love to help you, just like we've helped all these other nice families. So there you go. So feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, whatever works best for you. Now with all that out of the way, let's jump in. So homeowners associations, what is the good and the bad with them? And from the very beginning, I just want to say this. I don't care whether you buy a house in an HOA or whether that works for you or not. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to help you if we're working together and you're my client. I am going to help you find what's best for you. But that being said, so I don't have an agenda. It's not like because I live in one of them, you should live in it. Doesn't matter to me. But okay. So let's talk about the pros first with HOAs. When I start working with buyers, I have a consultation where we sit down, we go through your lifestyle, we go through, even some things that you wouldn't think are real estate related. I want to get to know why you're moving here, what lifestyle are you looking for? Because if you're, and you probably are, looking on real estate agents' websites or Zillow or something, oh wow, there's a house with an amazing pool or a great floor. Well, if the yard or the neighborhood doesn't accommodate the way you live, well then who cares? It doesn't matter. You're not gonna love the floor if you can't, park your truck in the driveway, or you can't, whatever the case may be. So anyway, so when I'm doing these consultations, it's not uncommon for buyers to tell me, hey, I don't want an HOA. I don't want anyone telling me what to do. Okay, that's fine, no problem. So all the rest of your criteria, here are some homes that match that. Now go drive by and tell me what you think. And so I remember in particular, I had one buyer who he drove through a neighborhood called Flagler Estates. Now Flagler Estates, I believe it was subdivided in the early 1970s, and each lot is a little over an acre. I think there's a handful that are smaller, but the vast majority are like 1.15 acres, something like that. And you can build whatever the hell you want on your acre. So you've got a lot of mobile homes, you got this, you got that, and they're all right around each other. And so in his point, he gets to this house, and the house itself would work. And he's looking at it, and then he looks to his left, and he sees somebody with a bunch of cars in the driveway. And the cars, in the yard, and they're all just falling apart. These cars are in just terrible shape. And then he looks down the street that he would have to drive down to get to what would be his house. And we don't talk about politics on this channel, so we're not going to do that. But we'll call it the F word. It was on one of the political signs, and it was blank your feelings and then endorsing this particular candidate. Well, all of that aside, he didn't want his grandchildren coming to see grandma and grandpa, and then 7-year-old little Bobby looks up and sounds out the F word, because at that age, that's what they're doing. They're sounding out words that they see. So he didn't want to have to live by those two things. So now we're back looking at homes and HOAs. And now you may not care. I've sold homes in Flagler Estates. The last one I can remember, she very specifically told me she doesn't care what the neighbors are doing. It doesn't matter to her. She just wants to keep up her yard. Sure enough, I sold her home there 2 years ago. I ran into her at the farmer's market down at County Line Farmer's Market, and she just loves it. It's a 1 acre yard, her and her dog, and they're just happy as can be. So that's great. Case in point is, for one person it completely worked, but for the next person it didn't. So that's the thing with HOAs. What they do is they protect the value of the home, because everybody has to have their lawn kept. Everybody has to, certain signs, certain things you can't do. You can't have cars falling apart in your driveway. You can't have, whatever the case may be. So that's the positive side to them. On the negative side, again, they can be, some of them, not all, can be super strict. And I remember I sold a house in Ponte Vedra Beach for a client, and one of her problems was, and she moved out of the area, But one of her problems was she was going to Blue Ridge, Georgia, which is the mountains, closest mountains to here. It's about 7-8 hour drive. And she put her trash can out on a Monday. And I believe trash day was Wednesday. So if I remember the story correctly, the trash can was out all day Monday, all day Tuesday. Wednesday, the trash was taken. And then Wednesday afternoon, the neighbor, when they got home from work, they rolled the trash can back into the garage or something. Well, she got a violation notice. No, she didn't get fined. Nothing terrible happened to her, but she got a violation notice for putting her trash can out 2 days early. That was too much for her. So when she moved up north, she made sure that she didn't have that to deal with, whatever. So it really just kind of comes down to how you want to live. And if we're working together, what I'm going to do is when we do our consultation, we're going to do what we call the buyer's funnel. And that's going to be, what is it you're looking for? What is the lifestyle that you want? We're going to go back and forth, and that's one of the things we talk about. But so we're going to apply that. And so for instance, a gentleman who reached out to me directly from this channel, him and his wife, we're going to talk tomorrow on Zoom. Yep, tomorrow. And so one of the things he mentioned to me was, okay, but I can't have a house on an HOA. So no problem, sir. But why would that be? Well, I've got German Shepherds, and I can't just have a little 4-foot metal picket fence because those dogs will jump right over it the first time they see a squirrel or a rabbit or, whatever they may see here. They're gone. And he's constantly going to be fishing his dogs out of other people's yards. Okay, that's legitimate. So, but when I pointed out to him, I said, okay, sir, and we'll talk more detail later, but if there was an HOA that allowed 6-foot high privacy fences, would that work for you? And I think 6-foot high is reasonable for a German Shepherd. Is not going to be able to climb that. He agreed, and so that would work. So he came into it with a preconceived notion, and probably because he's on Zillow, and he's looking at all these houses that back up the water. And in most neighborhoods, if you back up the water, yes, you have to have a 4-foot high, those little metal pickets fence. And the reason for that is they don't want you obstructing your neighbor's water view. Like it or not, whatever, that's what it is. So those houses would not work for him. And some of them do require those 4-foot metal picket fences. There's some places in Nocatee, for instance, that require that, even if you back up to another house. And so I think what they want you to do is put hedges in for privacy. But to his point, that wouldn't work for him because his dogs are right in the neighbor's yard. So we're not going to be looking at those neighborhoods when he comes into town. But what I would suggest you do is, if you're coming here, talk with me. If not, if you already have another agent, that's fine, but talk with them. Kind of go into your lifestyle needs. Like, what is it you want? For instance, some HOAs allow chickens. Some of them allow RVs. Some of them allow all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't think. They just want you to keep your lawn, not crazy. You don't have to have the lawn of the year, but it has to stay mowed. It has to stay fertilized. You can't have like 5, cars break down in the driveway, that kind of thing. So as long as within reason, they're not going to bother you. And in which case, you don't have to worry about what your neighbor's doing because, whatever. So anyway, that's my take on homeowners associations. So do me a favor, throw a comment down below. What are your thoughts? Do you like them or not? And yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention too. So if we are working together, we talk about that lifestyle needs. What I'm going to do then is when we look at homes, I'm going to look at those bylaws and I'll send them to you. So let's say, for instance, you tell me, you know what, I've got a raised F-250 or something. I don't know, I'm picking something at random. Or I want to have chickens. It's very important to me that I have a garden and I have chickens. Okay. Well, if the garden and the chickens is a thing, well, then neighborhoods like Nocatee, in fact, the vast majority of HOAs, not all, but the vast majority of HOAs are out. And so we're not looking there. But some of them it would work. So we'll just have to check. And it's up to you to select which house you buy. It's not up to me. But I just want to make sure that if you bought over here, you could still have those things that are important to you. The other thing that surprises some people is even if you're in a home that's in a neighborhood that doesn't have an HOA, there may still be a municipality, either county or city, that has its own ordinances. In fact, here I can pretty much guarantee you there will be. So let's say you are in the city, so you're within city limits of the city of St. Augustine as of when this video was filmed, and you're not in an HOA. Okay, there's plenty of those areas. Well, you still couldn't have chickens because the city ordinance says you can't. So the fact that you don't live in an HOA doesn't really matter. So it's a little bit more of a complicated issue than just a simple, unless you say no, and hey, then it's no, that's fine. As long as you know what you're getting into, that's fine with me. So there you go. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned some information from it. Do me a favor. If you got any value at all, give me a thumbs up. It helps me come up in ratings. If you're looking to relocate to Northeast Florida, you can give me a call, shoot me a text. It'll be me that answers, and we can take it from there. Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Michael, and I look forward to meeting you in person. Have a great day.